Hello, guys. Am I audible and visible? I hope I'm audible and visible. All right. So, welcome, guys. Welcome back to another session on uh, for CAT 2018, guys. In this short session of half an hour, that is 30 minutes, we'll just be looking at the odd one out questions that were asked in the morning slot of CAT 2018. Okay, so pretty straightforward agenda here. Okay, and of course, so guys, I totally see again, as I had talked in my last video. This is the time, this is the last week before CAT, and I totally understand what you guys might be going through, and it's a these are uncertain times for you, and there's a lot at stake. I totally understand. It's just going to be 3 hours, which is going to be really critical for you. Maybe almost less than a week from now, right? So yes, I've been in that stage, and I know uh, how unnerving or distressful it can be. Sometimes it can get, but don't let these things get to you, because see guys, at the end of it, it is about handling pressure, being able to remain composed and being able to deliver your best in spite of whatever pressures you are under, right? So that matters, and that matters a lot. Okay, so don't worry about all those things, and don't don't let anything keep you down. Okay, we humans, we generally have a tendency towards negative thoughts in general. We can't help it, right? And the same must be happening with you, right? With every sectional that you might be giving here, and with every mock that you may have given in the last week, you might, and if you've gotten not a really great score, you might just feel like, okay यार अभी नहीं करना है, maybe शायद अब next year करेंगे. But no, don't think about the next CAT, or don't think about anything else. You've come a long way. You've worked a lot. You've solved a lot of questions. You've watched a lot of videos. You've given almost all that you could have given this preparation, right? And you're almost there, is what I would say. So don't stop now. Okay, and okay. So with on that high note, let's start the session. So guys, in the next few YouTube sessions, what my agenda is going to be is, I'll try to take you through the verbal logic questions of both the slots of CAT 2018, and after that, if we have time remaining, if we have if there are more YouTube sessions coming up, in that case, I'll also take up CAT 2017. Okay, so that's the agenda. Let's start for today. In case there are any comments, I'll just check if there are. In case there are any comments or anything, you can always let me know. Okay, so yeah, so let's start. Yeah, so the first question, guys, is right here on your screen. So you do, I hope anyone who's watching this video and who's what do you say, who's going to be appearing for CAT and who knows the context would understand what an odd one out question is. But just for the record, I'm gonna just explain to you what an odd one out question is. An odd one out question generally has an instruction paragraph that says that out of the 5 sentences given below, 4 of them, when put together in the right order, make complete sense, make a coherent paragraph. One of them does not. One of them will not fit in with the other 4. You need to find out which one that is. Okay, that's the odd one out, and that's what you. So that's essentially what you need to do with the question. That's how you. Okay. So this was a question on your screen. You have a question that was asked in CAT 2018 morning slot, and so what I'll do is I'll for you, I'll just go through the, what do you say, sentences one by one, and analyze them and solve them for you. Okay, if you have any queries, you can post it in the comment section, and I'll try to answer it. Okay, so yeah. So live chat, yeah, there is a live chat option, right? So yeah, so all right, so the first sentence, it says translators are like bumblebees. Okay, so it's just the translators have been likened to bumblebees. All right, that's not, we don't really can't really eliminate or select the sentence basis just this little bit of information. Let's go through the next sentences. Though long since scientifically disproved, this factoid is still routinely trotted out. Okay, so there is a chance that the reference of this factoid might be towards this, right? Toward that translators are like bumblebees. This might be referred as this fact. This is just a chance, right? It's not certain. There's just a chance that it might be the case. Okay, let's go through the next sentence. Similar pronouncements about the impossibility of translation. Similar pronouncements about the impossibility of. Wait a second. I'm just gonna use a pointer here. Yeah. I hope you can see the pointer now, right? So similar pronouncements about the impossibility of translation have dogged practitioners since Leonardo Bruni's De Interpretatione Recta, published in 1424. So the key word, guys, here is similar pronouncements. Now this pronouncement might be referring to this sentence that translators are like bumblebees, or maybe something else. We don't really know. We have to read all the sentences to make sense of this. Bees, unaware of these deliberations, have continued to flit from flower to flower, and translators continue to translate. So guys, see, one thing is very clear. After reading the fourth sentence, there's one thing that is very clear, that there are at least two sentences in which there is some kind of juxtaposition being undertaken between translators and bumblebees. You know what bumblebees are, right? These tiny insects, and translators are translators, people who translate from one language to another language, right? So in this sentence also there is some juxtaposition between them, and in this sentence as well there is some juxtaposition between them. So there's a good chance that these two sentences might not be the odd one out because they are relating. I'm just saying there's a chance, right? We are not certain of it yet. Let's go to the next sentence. In 1934, the French entomologist, an entomologist is a person who studies insects, right? Auguste Magnan pronounced the flight of the bumblebee to be aerodynamically impossible. Okay, right? Now guys, the key word here is the word pronounced. Please just look at this. This has almost solved the question for us. Some blah 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 entomologist pronounced something something something, and then look at this sentence. Similar pronouncements, right? So there's a very clear link here. This guy pronounced something about the flight of bumble being aerodynamically impossible, and similar pronouncement. That means there is a link here. That means these two sentences cannot be the odd one out, right? About the impossibility of translation. See, and it also matches the content, right? So this guy pronounced the flight of bumblebee to be aerodynamically impossible, and similar pronouncements about the impossibility of translation have dogged practitioners since blah 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 blah, published in blah blah blah, whatever, right? Bees, unaware of these deliberations, have continued to flit from flower to flower, and translators continue to translate. So I think the meaning is quite clear now, right? That bumblebees are actually able to fly, right? Irrespective of what Auguste Magnan wants to think, but the flight is actually a fact. Okay, so bees unaware of this, there's basically some rhetoric here. Okay, so bees unaware of these deliberations have continued to flit from flower to flower, and translators continue to translate, right? So there is, so I think the sequence probably would be translators are like bumblebees. Okay, in 1934, or the French entomologist Auguste Magnan pronounced the flight of the bumblebees to be aerodynamically impossible, and then similar pronouncements have been made, etc., etc., etc. Bees are unaware of these, have continued to flit from flower to flower, and translators continue to translate, right? So basically the odd one out turns out to be this sentence, which is sentence number 2. Okay, although at first it seemed like that these two words, this factoid, were probably referring to this sentence, but they are actually not, right? So right, so the flow has gone something like translators are like bumblebees. He makes a statement, and then he goes on to expound upon that, and show how translators are like bumblebees. Okay, so I hope there's some clarity on this sentence, and if there's any doubt, please let me know. We can definitely try to answer the query if there's any. Okay, let me see. I think my screen is coming on top of your sentences, right? So let me see if I can just move this. Okay, anyways, not for now. We'll take care of next time. Question number 2. Let's come to question number 2. We'll follow the same process, guys, for solving this, right? So displacement in Bengal is not is thus not very significant in view of its magnitude. Okay, and displacement is in Bengal is thus not very significant in view of its magnitude. Okay, that's the first sentence. All right. A factor of displacement in Bengal is the topic is maybe probably displacement in Bengal. Okay, the factor of displacement in Bengal is the shifting course of the Ganges, leading to erosion of river banks. Okay, talks about displacement in Bengal, says it's not very significant in the view of its magnitude. Talks about the factors of displacement in Bengal, so there is some commonality here. Is the shifting course of the Ganges leading to erosion of river banks. Okay, and the factor has been given, it has been described. Next, so see guys, see, it's important whenever you're reading the sentences, it's important for you to just like at least keep a mental note of what was the content of the sentence, and it has to be concise, right? You cannot just, I'm not asking you to remember the whole sentence, it's just one point. So this talks about displacement in the Bengal and how it is significant or not. This tells about one of the factors of displacement in Bengal. Done. The nature of displacement in Bengal makes it an interesting case study. Okay, something about the nature of this it makes it interesting. Since displacement due to erosion is well spread over a long period of time, it remains invisible. Okay. This also, guys, can we also not make a link between these two sentences? The sentence on the top, the sentence here, the sentence on the top says in Bengal is thus not very significant in its view of magnitude. It's not very significant. And look at this sentence: due to erosion, displacement due to erosion is well spread over a long period of time, it remains invisible. Okay, so maybe that's why it doesn't seem to be very significant, right? So there can be a connection between 1 and 4. Okay, and let's look at fifth one. Rapid displacement would have helped sensitize the public to its human costs. Rapid displacement would have helped sensitize the public to its human costs. Okay. First of all, this like it talks about displacement, but like it also talks about sensitizing the public to the human cost. So this is something that is totally new, that has been added to the paragraphs till now. Okay, until now we were just talking about the displacement in Bengal. What are the factors, how it is significant or not significant, what is the nature of displacement, and why it remains invisible, right? So it is totally focused on displacement in Bengal, and suddenly there's a sentence that says rapid displacement would have helped sensitize the public to its human costs. There is no discussion in the first 4 sentences about sensitizing any kind of public or any citizens about the human costs of rapid displacement, right? So this clearly totally stands out, right? You can see that, right? And I think the odd one out will be this. And if you want to make a sequence out of the last 4 sentences, which is not really required in the CAT, but just for the sake of having some confidence here, I think this will be the first sentence. This will be your first sentence. The nature of displacement in Bengal makes it an interesting case study. Will be your first sentence. And wait a second. Will be your first sentence, and the next sentence will be a factor of displacement is the shifting course of Ganges due to leading to erosion of this river banks. Since displacement due to erosion is well spread over a long period of time, it remains invisible. Displacement in Bengal is thus not very significant in view of its magnitude, right? So 3, then you have 2. The nature is interesting. What is the factor of the displacement? It is a shifting course of Ganges leading to erosion. Okay, now but because of this erosion, due to erosion which is well spread over a long period of time, it remains invisible. Okay, and hence it is not very significant in view of its magnitude. So 3, 2, 4, 1 would be the correct sequence, and fifth will be the odd one out. The odd sentence out. Okay, so I hope you got it. Okay, so let's go to the next sentence, guys. Okay, sorry, I switched to the answer slide. Anyways, let's look at it. In many cases, time inconsistency is what prevents our going from intention to action. Okay, let's read the next sentence. So the first sentence is about time inconsistency and how it prevents us from something. For people to continuously postpone getting their children immunized, for people to continuously okay, guys, just a second, give me 1 second. I think there's a small error here. Yeah, that would make sense now. Just a second, I think there's a small formatting error here. Excuse me for the inconvenience. Yeah, so in many cases, time inconsistency is what appears is what prevents for our going from intention to action. Fair. For people to continuously postpone getting the children immunized, they would need to be constantly fooled by themselves. Okay, so there's something about immunization. This seems more like a generic sentence. This is more specific, and the specificity is mainly about getting parents getting children immunized, right? In the specific cases of immunization, however, it is hard to believe that time inconsistency. So this sentence has immunization as well as time inconsistency, right? So wait a second, you can't see the highlight pointer. This sentence has immunization from here and time inconsistency from here, right? By itself would be sufficient to make people permanently postpone the decision if they were fully cognizant of its benefits. Fair enough, okay. In most cases, even a small cost of immunization was large enough to discourage most people. Okay, so I think the discussion is about immunization, child immunization, and discussion is about child immunization and what are the factors that keep parents from not undertaking this important task, right? One reason has been given as time inconsistency. The other reason which has been brought to light in this option, in this sentence, is the cost of immunization, which says that in most cases even a small cost of immunization was large enough to discourage most people. Okay, all right, let's read the next sentence. Not only do they have to think that they prefer to spend time going to the camp next month rather than today, they also have to believe that they will indeed go next month. Okay, guys, so now this sentence does not contain the word immunization, does not contain the word time inconsistency, does not contain the word children, or neither does it contain the word parents, but yet it is actually part of the four sentences. Okay, because it totally fits in describing, okay, describing what time inconsistency means and what constantly being fooled by themselves means. So just try to wait a second. So so for example, so just read it in this sequence. In many cases, time inconsistency is what prevents our going from intention to action. All right. In the specific case of immunization, look at the link. This talks about many cases and makes a general statement, and then this talks about a specific case by saying that in the specific case of immunization, however, generally this happens. However, it is hard to believe that this happens. What happens? The time inconsistency by itself would be sufficient to make people permanently postpone the decision if they were fully cognizant of its benefits. Okay. Then, after that, but still, it is hard to believe that this happens, but it still happens. Why? Because for people to, that's what he's exploring next. For people to continuously postpone their children, getting their children immunized, they would need to be constantly fooled by themselves. And now, how does this fooling actually take place? Has been exemplified in this sentence, which says, not only do they have to think that they prefer to spend time going to their camp next month rather than today, they also have to believe that they will indeed go next month, right? And that also describes what time inconsistency actually means, right? They keep thinking that they'll go later, but they actually keep just postponing till, I don't know, eternity, whatever. Okay, so that's why 1 3 1 3 2 5 will make the correct sequence, and fourth will be the odd one out. Okay, so I hope, guys, that's clear, and there is some clarity here. And by the way, while leaving, I will just point out, tell you guys about the upcoming batches on Unacademy for ZAT. We have a crash course coming up for ZAT 2020 that starts on 2nd of December to 31st December. It will be undertaken by three faculties. Anish sir will be taking care of quantitative aptitude. I myself will be taking care of your verbal ability preparation for ZAT, and Bria will be taking care of your logical reasoning and data interpretation part. Okay, these are, guys, this is a really good proposition. It's going to be a full, you see, after CAT you have one complete month to make sure that you crack that, right? And then I don't think this time should be taken any less seriously than the time you took to prepare for CAT. So just it's a really good proposition. It's almost we'll have classes 5 days a week. okay, for both the three subjects. And except for verbal it will be three days a week, and quant and logical we think we're going to have it for 5 days a week. So okay, so that's it, guys, from my side. And if you're gonna be subscribing for Unacademy Plus, use my referral code Mishra.anupam102 to avail 10% discount. Okay, and that's it, guys. With that, I'll close the session. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you later. Okay, thank you, guys. Thanks.